Quite frequently we get a phone call from our customers that have just moved into a new home and they already have holes in their pool deck. They want to utilize these holes for our pool fence. I'm going to show you now how to measure properly and see if our pool fence will work with your pool deck. Almost all pool fence installations have modified sections to make them fit. So what we suggest is first find something in the middle that is an entire pool fence section. The way you can tell this is try to find two holes that are next to each other, where then it goes out about 2.5 to 3 feet in both directions from these two holes. That's where two poles of two new sections most likely met together. And then you can see we have these two holes, so this is the beginning of a section. Second pole, third pole, fourth pole, fifth pole, and here's the end pole, and also a second pole right next to it indicating the start of another new section. So from this end pole to the end pole I showed down there, that is going to be one entire section, and it's good to get an idea for what the pool fence size actually is. The next thing you want to do is, when you've identified a standard pool fence section, is measure from center hole to center hole. This one is 35 3/4 inches. This one is 36 inches. So they might have actually modified this last section. We're going to go down one more and see if it also is 36 inches. Okay, so this one is 36 inches on center as well. So now what we can deduce is we have 6 poles per section. That means this person originally had 15-foot long pool fence with poles spaced every 36 inches. You'll remember that first measurement I took was actually 35 3/4 inches. However, because that was the last section meeting up to the start of a new section, that is where you would traditionally do modifications. So when you're going to purchase a fence to fit these holes, you would want it to be 15 feet long with poles spaced 36 inches on center. Now that you know the spans of pool fence that you need to determine the hole size. These are what sleeves look like with caps on them. Pop one of the caps off so you can get a diameter measurement of the inside of the sleeve. This one would be 1 1/16. Now keep in mind, this is at the top. Inside of the hole itself might get narrower. Some of them taper outward at the top. To determine if that is the case, you can always take something else that's 1 1/16 and try pushing it down in the hole and see if it fits all the way down. Another thing you might come across is they might have actually taken their sleeves with them. What you'll be left behind with is a bare hole. If you're left behind with a bare hole, or if your sleeve seems like an odd size, you might be able to pull out the old sleeve, and as long as the bare hole is the right size for the new pool fence, you're okay, and you can use the sleeves that are provided with the new pool fence. So we're going to measure this. This is a 1 1/8 inch hole. So now that you know the key factors, which is the size of the hole, the size of the inside of the sleeve, and also how many poles there are per section, the total length of the section, and the spacing from center hole to center hole in the sections, you can buy a pool fence to replace it. Just count up how many you need. And remember, you don't have to worry if not every measurement is the exact spacing from hole to hole. If it is at the end of a section, they probably made a modification, which you can do on any pool fence that you buy as well. You would simply remove the last pole, move it into where it needs to be, and reattach it. This is the way all pool fencing works. So no matter what your measurements were, your next step is calling our knowledgeable staff or sending us an email with your dimensions. We will do our best to accommodate your existing fence installation.